The Distinguished Alumni Award was created 6 years ago to honor former students who have used their Seattle Central education to achieve great things. I think that you'll agree with us that this year's recipient is truly deserving of this honor. She represents everything that we could hope for our graduates. Pwint Htun grew up in poor, rural area of Myanmar, also called Burma, a country in Southeast Asia. She had little formal schooling. Shortly after her mother moved the family to the country's largest city to access better schools, they were forced to flee the repressive government. They made their way to a refugee camp along the border between Thailand and Cambodia. During this time, Pwint had no access to schooling, but she taught herself subjects from old textbooks. A Seattle couple who were working in the camp wanted to help her, so they brought her to the United States, where she enrolled in English as a second language classes at Seattle Central. She eventually began taking college-level courses in science and math and transferred to the University of Washington, earning a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and then went on to earn a master's degree from Northwestern University. This led to a successful career in the telecommunications industry. Working at Hewlett-Packard and then Clearwire and T-Mobile, Pwint was part of a team that developed the Android smartphone operating system, so we owe her a debt of gratitude for all of us who have phones. As an immigrant, communicating with her family was vitally important, and she felt it was her mission to make communicating easier and less costly. She now has a new mission: to bring mobile financial services to the rural areas of her native country. She has lobbied the government, the same government that forced her family to flee, to make this vision a reality, so millions of poor and underserved people in rural Myanmar can access credit and basic banking, which will go a long way toward improving their lives. She currently serves as an advisor to the World Bank and philanthropic organizations such as the Gates Foundation. It is my absolute honor to present the 2016 Distinguished Alumni Award to Pwint Htun.
Thank you, Dr. Edwards-Lang. Trustees, graduates, parents, guests, thank you for welcoming me back to the Seattle Central family and for this wonderful honor of addressing the amazing graduates. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you for your hard work and for achieving this very important milestone. I also want to congratulate the parents, friends, and family of the graduates. Woohoo! Your support has made this day of celebration possible. Another reason I'm really honored to be here is that 24 years ago, when I first arrived in Seattle with speaking very little English, less than stellar skills, I enrolled at Seattle Central, starting with English as a second language classes. And I still remember the incredible instructors that I have had at Seattle Central, including Jackie George, Jim Hubert, Deborah Sullivan, Daniel Bogues, Greg Langkamp, just to name a few. But don't hold it against the instructors if I stumble here today. It's not their fault if I stumbled. After 6 quarters at Central, I was able to transfer to UW and later earn a degree in electrical engineering. And to understand what that meant for me, I have to kind of explain a little bit what it was like for the first 12 years of my life. The first 12 years of my life, I grew up in rural Burma amongst the farmers. Because my mother, Dr. Nguyen, who's here, she's a primary care physician, and she raised me and my 3 sisters as a single mother, working full-time to treat the rural farmers. People constantly questioned her decision to serve in these small towns with no paved roads, no electricity, no telephone, no TVs, communities that had very poor schools itself. But my mother's values were on display every day as she served the community, and it was an education for me. Her values of service helped shape my values as well. So when I came to US alone, as an 18-year-old with limited English language skills, I missed my family terribly. I was here alone at 18. And those of you who are recent immigrants, you'll remember what I'm talking about. At that time, long-distance calls to Burma was $5 a minute. So I decided to pursue work in telecommunications because I wanted to connect with my family, and I know I want others to have the same connectivity with their loved ones too. Back then, mobile phones were only for affluent businessmen and businesswomen, and they were the size of bricks. I think most of the graduates probably doesn't remember that stage. It was a very early nascent stages of mobile phone technology. So when I was 20 years old, I fully intended to be the geekiest nerd. That was my aspiration. I wanted to design and code hardware and firmware for mobile phone chipsets and radio frequency test equipment. And after I graduated, I did just that. I was one of the geekiest nerds. And it was great. So I would have never imagined that I would turn away from that exciting, rewarding, well-paid, fun career from the corporate world. And I would have never imagined today that I would have the honor of being an advocate for the rural poor back in my home country, working to increase their access to finance and economic opportunities using the mobile phone technology. So for the past 3.5 years, with or without paid jobs, I have advocated to ensure mobile phone technologies and mobile financial services reach the poorest communities in rural Burma. I would have never imagined when I was taking ESL courses in Jackie George's class that development economics is someday going to become one of my driving passions. But life happens and change is inevitable. So my first hope for you is be open to change. Explore and travel down the roads that you might not have ever expected, because you never know where your passion and drive is going to lead you one day. And as important as it is to be open, our opportunities and possibilities go hand in hand with community. Take a look around you. Right here at Seattle Central, there is incredible knowledge amongst all of you graduates, the faculty, family and friends, and mentors who are here to celebrate your achievements. And what I'm talking about is not just classroom knowledge, I'm talking about collective global knowledge that we all have right here. I can ask someone in this great hall about what is the quickest way to send a mobile money transaction into Tanzania, and I know someone can answer that right here. And someone in this audience can tell me how the farm productivity has been increased in places like the Philippines or Vietnam. This collective global knowledge that is immense is a huge asset for this community. We live in an ever-shrinking world where it is now possible to call or text almost for free with anyone around the world. And it is possible to share what we all know and learn with our entire communities thanks to the social network. And each of us really belong to many communities: Capitol Hill, Seattle Central, Trio. There's all these amazing communities. And we might identify with some of the communities based upon our gender, our ethnicity, our religion, or our interests. And for me, serving the communities that I have belonged to have brought great satisfaction. At first, I got involved based upon my specific skills, and for years, I volunteered my time and served on the City of Seattle's Technology Advisory Board. But then refugees from Burma started coming to US in 2007, and their needs were immense, and the local resettlement agencies were just overwhelmed. So my husband, Simon Kin, left his career in the tech industry to help serve the refugee population. Because we both my husband and I know very, very well how challenging it is to arrive in US as a teen speaking no English at all. So we volunteered in many ways, from helping with homework to job applications, school applications, scholarship applications, summer internships, to organizing annual soccer tournaments that bring the community together. And it has been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life to witness transformation of the refugee youth, some of whom are here today as part of this graduating class. Hao Kuo and Vong are two of the students that I know. And these two young people who are in this room right here came as refugees with their family to US 7 years ago. And their transformation, their openness to change from not speaking a single word of English to graduating from Seattle Central is what gives me hope and what is one of the most fulfilling experiences. Vong is now a student at UW Bothell studying business with great plans to give back to her community. And Hao, who plays the piano beautifully because he learned how to play it all from YouTube. Education's everywhere, right? And today he dreams of learning computer science so that he can develop tools that make a difference in his community. So thank you very much, Hal and Vong, for inspiring us. Serving and giving back does not mean one needs to take big, heroic actions. Often, small actions mean so much. Speaking up and advocating for the need of people in your community. Perhaps mentoring someone. Showing that you have faith in someone when she cannot see potential in herself. Like Pam Alardo and Sherry Lipsky did when they first met me as a 16-year-old at Thai-Cambodian border. Thanks, Pam and Lipsky. So there are a great variety of ways to give back and help others. And community doesn't always mean the people who share the same physical space with you. Farmers and rural poor, even though I don't live there, they're part of my community because I understand their plight. And I genuinely care about connecting them and want them to have access to finance and opportunity. And that is the passion that has given me direction, strength, and fuel. So just imagine a poorly educated country girl from the hinterlands of Burma, a girl who came to US 24 years ago with just hope and determination as her only true possessions, who would later convince the Ministry of Communication and Central Bank of Myanmar to change the financial and telecommunications landscape of Burma. So if I can do this with those small accumulated steps, just think what each and every one of you can and will do. The good news is you don't have to go at it alone. There are communities that are part of your support network, that could be part of your support network. I urge all of you to think about the places you belong, where you are, where you hope to go. I urge you to think about ways to give back and serve your community. Use your knowledge, use your energy, because you have so much. Each of you is capable of engaging with at least one issue or one problem that you care about. What is the one problem that you want to see resolved? Don't wait for someone else to solve it. Don't wait for someone else to tell you what to do. Do what you can right now. Because collectively, as a community, we have enough power and energy to change our world. Start from wherever your world is right now, engage your community, and welcome all the possibilities of change that it brings. I thank each and every one of you for all you will do to make our world, our communities, reach beyond what we know is possible today. Congratulations again on a job well done.
Thank you, Pwint. I'm so happy that you are here with us today to share your inspirational story with our graduates. You are a role model for our students, especially our female students who are interested in technology careers, and you're a shining example of what it means to be a global citizen. Now, I understand that you, like many of our students, transferred to the University of Washington before officially earning the associate degree. So on behalf of Seattle Central College, I'd like to present you with this honorary degree so that we can officially claim you as a graduate of Seattle Central. Thank you again. Thank you so much.